Now, when I'm not playing games on my Steam Deck or messing around with the latest tech, I enjoy playing online poker. And a poker site slash app I've been using for over 6 years now is Ignition Poker. And honestly, guys, sometimes playing poker is a good stress reliever. Plus, it's fun to take down big pots, especially when you're playing for real money. Speaking of playing for real money, this is in fact a real money poker app. But they also have free games that you can play on it as well. But yeah, what I'm getting at here is that most of us enjoy playing poker in our spare time, and this is just a great place to do it. And instead of just talking about them, I'd like to go over a recent session where I managed to get a really nice win. Of course, if you guys would like to learn more about Ignition, there'll be some bonus links you guys can check out directly below in the description. Don't forget to tap that like, and let's get into some of these hands. And here we go. Also, stick around to the end because we were able to get up close to $500 in this session, just making some good plays overall and things going our way, right? That's how it's got to go sometimes. But I didn't do anything too crazy here. I just played, pretty straight up, no big bluffs or anything. And yeah, here we go. So like I said, I opened here really small with pocket tens. We're going to have a 3-bet, and then we're going to have a 4-bet. And this guy's going to bet it to, I want to say, like close to $50. So it was a little bit hard, You're looking at pocket tens. The one thing I will say about this guy was it just felt like he was being pretty aggressive. I probably saw about 10 hands sitting at this table. And this guy was, really making some weird raises. I was watching him make some weird plays. It didn't make a lot of sense. For example, he opened raise to $30, which didn't make any sense to me. Just a straight $30 raise I saw this guy do. So, a part of me thought that he could have a couple, overcards, like your ace kings, your ace queens, things like that. I didn't necessarily think he had like a big pocket pair. So, I decided to make a call here, and it wasn't a call that was cheap by any means. I did think about it for a little bit. It wasn't exactly like I just straight up called this, but I am going to make the call. And the flop was a good one. It was kind of the one we were hoping for. Obviously, we're still going to be losing to all those over pairs, jacks, queens, kings, aces. But at the same time, I just wasn't thinking that this guy had that. Basically what I did here was just come over the top and hope for the best, because when you get a flop like this, there is a chance, and sometimes a really good chance, that you're ahead of a lot of hands, right? So I'm just going to come over the top. We get one guy to fold, which is good. This guy, he's going to let the clock run down on this quite a bit, and as soon as he started doing that, I just kind of like knew he didn't have it. I was hoping he would just fold because I really didn't want him to call me with one of those hands I talked about, like an ace king or an ace queen, which if I was him, I don't know, it's a tough spot, but I was actually thinking he might call me with that, and we would be dodging, really just overcards going to the turn and river, and we would be in a good spot. But, honestly, guys, I was just hoping he would fold, which he did, and, we took down the hand. Turn card would have been a good one. We got a 7 right there. And we would have been way ahead going to the river if he had those hands I was talking about, those ace kings, those ace queens, and, pocket tens. That was a very tricky spot for it, because not only do we have the 3-bet, which I would have just called, but the 4-bet costing us about 25% of our stack, on the buy-in here. Wasn't an easy call, but it worked out. And, every time you get, any pocket pair and you're in that kind of situation, it's always going to be different. I say this a lot because you have to adjust to the players that you're playing with at the table. They're always going to be different people. So you have to, recognize that, and you're not going to play the same way every single session. You are going to do things different. You're going to make different bluffs. You're going to make different plays. You're going to lay down hands when you feel like somebody's been playing really tight and they probably got you. But when you got somebody who's just kind of like being super aggressive all the time, they're not going to have a hand every time. And, fortunately, we called that guy out for his play, and things worked out for us. Now, like I said, continue sticking around because we are going to have a pretty big all-in coming up here against that same player, because he just got out of line in this. And I could tell he was just kind of like tilting a little bit. I think he was actually up to I think he was up to close to 500 bucks, and then he dropped under 400, and then we're going to get his entire stack coming up here soon, so you don't want to miss it. Now, this hand was unbelievable because I don't even understand how many outs I probably had with it. And it was kind of like a dream flop, honestly. I think we had a royal flush possibility with this. And I just decided to call here. I could have 3-bet this, but I just called it. Okay, I'm sorry. We did not have the royal flush, but we did have the flush, the king high flush, which would be the nuts if we hit it. Plus, we're looking for a 10 on the turn, which would give us the nut straight. So, yeah, this was a really good flop for us. Unfortunately, we are going to miss it on the turn, but stick around to the river. Now, we do a pair of the jack, so we have a pair. Third pair to the board. We still got those straight draw possibilities, too, if we can hit that 10. And we still have the flush draw. Now, there's 2 flush draws out there. This guy decided to bet. Obviously, I'm making the call here. And talk about ridiculous. We brick with a 7 of hearts on the river. I was like, come on, man. Like, really? Really? How do we not hit? How do we not hit on this one? Like, that sucks. And he's going to put in a bet here. I figured he would. I didn't see this guy checking at all. And obviously, I thought about it for a little bit. Because I thought, what is this guy representing? We have a king, so what is he trying to say? He's got like king 10. It didn't really matter. I mean, I couldn't make that call. So we just laid it down with our pair of jacks and on to the next one. But a very frustrating situation, I will say that, guys, for sure. All right, next time we had a jack queen. I opened this one up pretty standard. Just putting in a little bit of raise, or a little raise here. We're going to get 2 callers, and yeah, we're getting closer to this all-in situation where I could take out where I get to take out that player, like I said, who was just kind of getting out of line here. All right, so here we go. Now, we are going to pair the queen on this, but there is going to be an ace out there. So instead of getting aggressive with it or staying aggressive with it, I just decided to check because, a lot of times, if I was just up against one player, I'd probably put in a raise here. But 2 players, somebody could definitely have, an ace. Even if it's a weak ace, we're behind. If they got like an ace 5 or an ace 6 or an ace 4, whatever. I'd rather just check this, see a turn card, see if we can get maybe 2 pair or... maybe, get another queen. Anyways, we are going to be dealing with a raise right here. I decided to make a call because this guy made a call, and that kind of just made it make more sense. Now, when the ace hit on the river, I felt really good about that because the likelihood of somebody having an ace just went down a ton. And I could see that you get a lot of missed draws out there. So we are going to be able to check this one down, and I was able to take the hand. So making that call right there was a good play and not, folding it just because there was an ace on the board. Plus, like I said, we still could hit 2 pairs going to the river there or possibly hitting another queen, which would have been nice. All right, so here we go. Now, you're going to notice player 5, like I said, he was up to almost 500 bucks, and he was just losing all his money. And I just knew it. He was just done and just making plays that didn't make any sense, making bluffs that didn't make any sense, and he was just done. And it's like he wanted to lose the way he was playing, and, I get it. Like, playing poker can be brutal. If you can't handle it, if you can't handle, taking tough losses sometimes and you just start to play bad poker, sometimes it's just best to quit for the day. Now he's going to kick it up to like 30 bucks. And the reason I didn't want to just call him was because I definitely felt like we were ahead of him. You know, with a lot of different hands he could have. He could really have anything here because he was just playing bad. He was just done. I didn't want to just take this to the flop and see one of those like terrible flops where it's like a 10, 6, 8 and he's got like a jack 10 or something. I'd rather just put them all in here. If he folds, I'm fine with that. If he makes the call, I'm fine with it, but you know, I didn't want to just make a call here because he could have anything. He is going to let the clock run down on this for a while. He is going to make the call, and I'm not going to tell you what he had. You got to wait and see. But yeah, this is the play I was always making on this guy. He was just done. You know, he was like, you know, I've lost all my profits, and now I'm down money, and now I'm just going to play bad poker. And yeah, I've been there before, man. I made some plays, believe me, but I just kind of knew it here. Okay, so he didn't take too much time to make the call. He's got a king queen. Now he is live. I mean, he does have a king. Turn card, obviously, we're trying to dodge anything that could help him, and we did. Now his odds going to the river here, very bad. And fortunately, the king didn't appear, and we got a nice win. And really bring this all home for you guys. You know, I hope you enjoyed some more hands here in Ignition, especially opening with pocket tens on the second hand. I think, you know, overall in this one, just played good poker, didn't do anything crazy, made some good plays, and knew my opponents well enough to make the right plays, especially right there. Okay, anyways, hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't had a chance yet, subscribe to the channel. Definitely get on that poker newsletter, guys. I think the hand analysis and just tips help you guys make more money would be worth your time, so you can check that out directly below in the description. So always, thanks for watching this, and we'll see you all in the next poker video.